3、2、1。
Check 1 2, what to do. Welcome back to the Mike Check Podcast. This is T Word, the People's Champ. Today we're talking about the undercard of Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo. Before we get into the video, hit that like button right now. Do it right now. Hit the like button now. Subscribe if you haven't already. And then go ahead and leave a comment when this video is over and let me know what you think about the video. So let's go ahead and talk about this super loaded undercard of this big pay-per-view event. Undisputed versus undisputed. Charlo and Canelo Alvarez are meeting up at 168 pounds. And this is a legacy fight for Charlo and kind of another day at the office for Canelo Alvarez. He's taken on challenge after challenge in his career, even though lately it seems like he slipped a little bit in taking on challenges outside of Dimitri Bivol. However, now he's back in the mix, and this is a sneaky good fight, which we've talked about in another video. And at this point, you're probably just waiting on our prediction video, which we'll be dropping shortly. That being said, let's talk about this crazy undercard. So if you think that the Spence Crawford undercard, and I'm one of those people who believe it was a very underwhelming undercard, this is the opposite of that. Just on the televised YouTube portion, you have Terrell Gausha versus Keandre Leatherwood. You know who Gausha is. You've seen him do well against Tim Tszyu and people like that. So this is a good fight. Now, if I'm not mistaken, last time he was on Showtime Boxing, he actually won. Then you've got Alexander Vostik against Isaac Rodriguez. Vostik is a pretty notable heavyweight. Light heavyweight. So this is going to be what I believe to be a good fight to whet your appetite for what should be a really good night of boxing. So you're going to sit down in front of TV nice and early, 4:30 Central Time. This thing is going to kick off. So you don't want to miss the YouTube portion, which wraps up with Frank Sanchez versus Scott Alexander, a heavyweight 10-round fight. And if you watched any Frank Sanchez, he may not knock you out, but he'll beat you up for 10 or 12 rounds. And I can't wait to see what he's going to bring. Really anticipating him getting some type of title shot, something with the WBC, one of them silver international super challenger belts, whatever they do. I would love to see Frank Sanchez get his opportunity at one of those because he's been doing the grind work to get there. Then you get to the televised portion. So this should come on around 7 p.m. Central. More than likely, the broadcast is really going to get going at 8. You're going to see a lot of fluff between 7 and 8. But it's going to kick off with Elijah Garcia, a young middleweight, versus Jose Armando Resendez. These are two fighters that Showtime has been propping up into, the next generation of fighters. So this should be a really good match. Even though I kind of favor Garcia, I just feel like they put him in a situation where he could look good on pay-per-view and try to make him the next babyface star, so to speak. Then you've got two very notable guys coming off. Yordenis Ugas is coming off a pretty notable loss, and Mario Barrios is getting just back into the win column after two notable losses to Gervonta Davis and Keith Thurman. And they're going to be fighting for the WBC welterweight interim title. It's crazy that these dudes are getting a shot at this belt, because I didn't know that the WBC belt was like champion in recess, because Bud Crawford just won the belt, like literally just won the belt. So I don't know how that comes about, but anyway, this is an interim title fight. I guess everybody knows but the fans that Bud is moving up to 154 to go chase Jermell Charlo. So looking to see what Ugas looks like after that really debilitating eye injury, and what Barrios looks like against a true welterweight, because I haven't seen him fight one yet, besides Keith Thurman, and Keith disfigured that boy's face. So interesting fight, 12 rounds, interim title on the line. Good luck to both. Then you've got Jesus Alejandro Ramos, so Jesus Ramos and Erickson Lubin at 154 pounds, 12-round fight. Now, you can say what you want about Lubin, but that dude can freaking fight. And I think that he's going to bring a real challenge to Ramos. And what's going to be crazy about it is that I don't think Ramos has seen anything like Lubin. Lubin has a lot of just diverse skills, and I think that his flaws are typically just him losing focus during a fight. But I don't think that's going to show up in this one, and I think he's going to give Ramos a good challenge. Hard to pick a winner. I got it 50-50, but it's not unreasonable to leave Ramos in this one. And then obviously you got the main event. So back to this undercard, man. These are going to be some really good fights. I think this is a situation where you're going to want to get your snacks and all your stuff early so you don't have to keep getting up from the TV. And the only time you want to leave is run to the bathroom or to the fridge to refill your drink, because every fight presents something interesting. And I don't see this as a very one-sided card. When you think back to in January when Showtime did the card with a lot of stars on pay-per-view, you kind of had these favorites, and then it ended up being a really interesting card. I think this one is not only interesting beforehand, it's going to play out that way. Nothing's going to be one-sided. You're going to see some good fights, and the only thing that to me has the potential of a one-sided fight is Canelo versus Charlo. So this is a great undercard. What do you guys think about it? Are you excited about any particular undercard fight? Are you kind of meh on the whole idea and you're just ready for the main event? Let me know in the comments. This has been T for the Mic Check Podcast. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.